Hello, hello. Sorry, I was, for some reason I wasn't streaming on YouTube there for a second, so I needed to figure that out. Let me stop the music stuff so it doesn't. Music be gone. I need to. Dang it. Normally stuff that I'll do. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, I'm just playing Stanley Parable today. Nothing too exciting. Nothing too. Never actually game. I watched Markiplier play it back whenever it first came out, but yeah, I don't remember very much. I remember one of the endings, and that's it. I'm probably not gonna play too much of this tonight. I'm not feeling 100% tonight. Maybe like two hours, 2.5. Stomach hurts. Oh, weird that they're asking me to do this. 7:42 time. What are we hanging on about? Oh, so yeah, I actually booted this up earlier to test out some settings to make sure that I had the audio correctly, and I put the time correct on the last one as well. To your favorite time. Well, I got a little bit of an Easter egg right there. Yeah, like I made sure that the audio is good and you could hear me talking over top of the narrator. Why isn't that working correctly? 1 second here, I need to pull this up then. 7:43 blaze it. Dave, what did you log like do that on? That was on YouTube. I shouldn't have notifications coming through on YouTube. That's weird. That Anyways, Dave, thank you for the subscription. I don't know why that popped up on YouTube. I don't have things set up on there yet. I need that still. Listen, this stream's already been technical difficulties from the beginning, so I'm here for it. Let's start. That was a cool thing. I just noticed on the computer onto the right actually showed
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
the menu on there too.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Am I Stanley in real life?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Order for getting any of the other achievements as first. I got 2 achievements there. One was starting up the game. Oh, that's weird. You don't stop immediately. You continue going after. I don't know how I feel about that. I got an achievement for starting the game and exiting again, and then an achievement for getting another achievement.
Were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Feels really slippery, and I don't know how I feel about it. How the mighty have fallen. Yeah, the achievement sounds still pop up for me. I just you can't see them whenever it's on OBS. Probably turn that off. Let me that here. On do not disturb. Cool. Settings. Game. I do not see the option currently, and I am not gonna mess around with it too much right now, so we'll just continue going. I don't think there's 11 achievements in this game,
when
so.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
If you press the mouse button, it makes a clicking, like a keyboard clicking noise.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
So I tried pressing the right click button, and it gave me an achievement called "No, seriously, we disabled it," and then said though you can't jump. And now whenever I press the right button, it just makes me move forward. I can play this all with one hand now. Never mind.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What's the red? I'm gonna go upstairs like they told me to. It's just I was curious about the red. Oh, there we go. Fancy. I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. So that's a lovely purse. Say that's a lovely purse. Very nice executive area.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked?
So the reason why you can't see the achievements and I can is because I am not recording the screen, I'm recording the game. So in case of any, like if the game crashes, you guys, nobody can see my desktop, so nothing of my my personal information gets leaked. So I just have it set up so it's that way rather than streaming the screen instead.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Interesting. Okay, there's nothing I can actually do back there.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Interesting.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm gonna just do what the narrator tells me right now.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have
I don't know the game get to work.
Out?
But it could be. This narrator is very popular. Camera.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I don't know how you can't notice a security camera in your office. I knew where every single security camera was in my old office.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it.
Pirate.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
I don't know about the pirate employee.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Hey.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Waiting input. Off.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
I think we all want a little bit of happiness in our lives.
Where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Hey, I completed the game. Cool. Hey, thanks everybody for coming to the stream. I appreciate you all being here. If you guys like the stream, please give me a follow. If not, that's completely fine. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Bye-bye. Okay, now that that bit's over, there is more to this game, and I know that, so there was other choices that you could have made.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yo, weed.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Left door.
he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna go and do the ending that I actually remember
Yet there was
of
not a single person here
this.
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Yeah, this is the only ending that I remember. Is waiting in this room here. So we got 2 rolls of duct tape. We got 2 wrenches. Looks like one of those machines that you lay string with that like chalks the yard. That's another wrench. Can't really tell though. Full of rope or duct tape. Another wrench. Bucket. Like I said, this is the only one that I remember. Also, I'm going to make sure that I have all my alarms turned off on my phone this time so I don't have a random alarm go off while streaming. Okay. Forget how long this takes. Ba-ba. I'm just checking to see how long I have to stay in here. Actually, that's funny that you bring that up. I went to go and take Diva outside, and it was completely fine. I just noticed that it started snowing. I'm like, okay, cool. Come back inside. I then DoorDash some Subway, and whenever I went outside to go and get it took like 20 minutes in between me taking Diva out and the Subway coming, and the entire everything's just covered in snow now. Diva is actually very hard to see in the snow. Luckily, she does have tan spots on her, so it is. Yeah, the snow was crazy. She has tan on her. She has a colored collar, so it's easier to spot her. It's always tornado season where you live. There we go. Yeah. It just says eventually, so we're gonna. Did he go? And any other questions anybody has? um, Actually odd. I got a Pepsi today. Normally, like the caps of Pepsi are like either blue or black, depending on which ones you get. And I got a Pepsi Zero. And for some reason on this one, the cap is orange. I've never actually seen or on a Pepsi. Not that I can remember. Whatever, it's just cheaper plastic. Seems like something the Pepsi company would do. No, I do not like mango at all, so I don't even touch the mango stuff. It's just like a normal Pepsi Zero. Mm. You know, I've heard that that's actually like a very common thing for people to do is to eat mangoes with chili pepper or chili powder. Like there's that sauce that they actually sell that's just like a mango pulp and chili powder in it. I may say screw it to this ending here. Begin the game again. Let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Basically all of that ending is that the narrator just comes back and says, hey, the player is dead. Can somebody come and pick him up? Make sure that they're okay.
What could it mean?
That's not really it.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But now I'm not going to follow any of his instructions.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking
Yo.
it all in.
Coffee nut. Hashtag I.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Does that say oh, I think that says I hate Mondays. I thought it said I hate my mom.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Hey,
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
narrator, listen, I'm trying to tell a story because I saw this so there's this #1 dad mug right here. In a few years.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
And so my supervisor said that his birthday. Who farted? My supervisor got a said that his birthday was coming up, and he said, "You guys need somebody needs to get me a #1 boss mug." And I said, "The best I can do is the world's okayest boss." So I bought one for him off of Amazon. He absolutely loved it. He still uses it to this day, even though he doesn't work at our company anymore.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
See you later.
I realize, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
What an ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I hate Mondays is what it says, okay.
When Stanley
Hey,
came
thanks.
to a set of
I beat it
two
twice
open
now.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh, there's no console commands. Man.
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I like that the narrator gives you different dialogue depending on how many times you've done the same
Stanley
thing.
was so bad at following directions, it's
That's cool.
incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Wonder how many lines of dialogue they wrote for the narrator.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's
Wait a second
someone
here.
You've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Or what do you want, narrator?
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Here's the thing, narrator. I don't like the color red.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well,
Yes.
don't let me stop you.
Oh, you're not going to.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yeah.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did.
I doubt that.
And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because
I mean,
this is what
look
you
at this
wanted to
texture right
see.
here. It's broken.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
Skill tree would be cool.
Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design.
I love skill
and you
trees.
can give me some feedback.
Except Path of Exile,
There we
that's too
go.
much of a skill
third
tree.
option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
You know what? I just want to screw with him, and I'm going to go through the same door that I went through.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay. Oh, Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Where am I at? Show me. Oh. I thought it was going to show my Steam profile. I think there's more people that played this than just 9,328. For instance, it's empty. Oh. Why do they have to do me like that? This is your superior. I'm going through the wrong door again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Yeah, sure, that sounds
You
good.
wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger.
Okay.
You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
This baby's at
So
least a
why don't
teenager
you
now
give
since
it
this
4
game's
hours
come
of
out.
play to make sure it's effective. Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You
Never mind, that
heartless
baby's dead.
bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game?
Okay.
Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Firewatch?
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it.
Who
What
fire
a fascinating
watches the
venture into
fire
the
watch?
experience of total mental
Oh, it's the
depravity.
sweet ass
So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's
bleach.
even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Okay. Why did that sound like a Minecraft door effect? I feel like there's another Firewatch over there. I haven't played Firewatch in years. Reminds me of the part of Until Dawn,
No.
the Firewatch Tower.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh,
No!
thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around.
I like
no right
open
or
world
wrong
games,
directions,
though.
No path to follow. You can just go in any. Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
Okay.
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
I can't get on top of the rock.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
What do we... Rocket League?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
I wonder if there's a way to get lost in here.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
I want to be blue team.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard? Hold on. What are you doing?
I got lost.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Cool, I'm gonna do this. Oh, that's just darkness. I believe in a thing called love. Let's listen to the rhythm, There's a chance we can make good now. This is like old Source. Source being the engine that this game's built in. For those unaware. The Half-Life games were... The first Half-Life was made in. Portal? I think Portal 1 was also made in it. Oh, is this going to take us back to Stanley's office? Yeah, it is. That's hilarious. After everything, you're still you.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Ominous.
I can wait.
I too can wait, Mr. Narrator. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What can I do now? That's different. Let's see.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
I'll go
door.
right
This
again.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I do, because I want to see this big dip on the
lounge
floor
was
again.
Sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. Yeah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Penalty for shopping off the cargo lift, $5,000.
Look, Stanley,
Pretty sure we're gonna have more issues than just $5,000.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is
Not
that
your
the
buddy guy.
story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who?
That's her, Stanley.
Hello.
You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I'm afraid of commitment. No. Can I unplug the phone?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Okay.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Thank you.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person.
Exactly.
But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous.
Nah.
For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice.
Hey, that's
He
my,
could invent a machine
my
that
mom's
eliminates
dog's name.
food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
I doubt that.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Thank you. Thank you for opening up the door for me, narrator.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse.
That's what happens in a certain RPG that I'm not going to spoil right now.
Equipped to deal with reality.
Character dies halfway through and you can beat the game without him. Oh, this door's locked now too.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Oh. I don't think I will. Dang it, okay. They're making me. They're making me, everybody. I'm sorry.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, this is awesome. Going back in again. Messing with the game. What is up over here?
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work.
You're welcome.
Why? For what? What did you
That's
get
fun.
out of that?
Laughter.
What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work?
Everywhere.
No. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
Go for it.
I have to.
Do it. Do it. That's what I thought. You can't.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
You're welcome.
Did you think that would be funny?
Oh, yeah.
You just had to see?
Yeah.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He
I want to be like
actually knows
Stanley.
how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had
Hey,
it?
no swearing. There's no
That
swearing
there's
allowed
a
on the stream.
world outside of you. You're a child.
You're a child.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Good work, nerd.
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know I can't follow what he's saying right now. I have to keep doing this. Oh, the wind's blowing very hard outside right now.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, absolutely not. I can't get
No!
There we go.
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means
Okay, I'll go through the door this time.
Always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This is what a loser would do. Woo! Let's go. Back to this way. Go, baby. Where's the trigger at?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Gonna mess up your
Behave exactly
game
as
narrator.
Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Loser says what?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly
Okay.
as Stanley
I think it's
would.
just gonna keep
That
looping me,
means
so I'm just gonna
choosing
go through it.
responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Or should I go through it again? Oh. 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 No.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
It won't let me in the broom closet now. Man.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to
I
his
can't go
boss's
down either.
office.
That's hilarious. And go to the bathroom.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
This is actually
Shocked,
different.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
What?
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115.
Are they actually?
He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Nightshark 115. Okay.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
I
You
can't.
didn't mishear me, did you?
No, I can't. I can't speak to you.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Shark 115. Shark 115.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this
I didn't give you my permissions.
For your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a center
That is cool.
he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
No.
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
Oh.
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide.
Narrator's going
Time
through
to
some
make
stuff.
sure what
I'm just gonna
choice
let
is
him
correct.
have
I
his
need
have
the
his time.
best choice.
Sorry, Leroy.
All right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Okay.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Oh, cool. I got a lot of boxes coming, apparently. Like, what if there's something back here? Hello? Okay. That was weird. I just stay here. I'm not gonna just stand there and wait for a long time again like last time. So I'm just gonna continue going. Like, there could be something back here. I'm just not sure where or how. That door's interactable. That one is not. I do this and also the narrator hasn't talked to me this entire time. Oh, I can't get back into that room. Interesting. He has had enough of me. I get it. I have enough of me.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Of course, I had to go and say something, and then he came immediately back.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417, 417. Ugh.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Yes. Whatever you say, boss. Wait. 437. Oh.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415, is that out here?
Now, back to door number 437.
Okay. I knew there had to be something in here.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Oh, 416 is out here. Interesting.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Okay. Hold on, there's something over here. Okay.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
I got an achievement for it. That's a plus. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Go to
he
the
entered
left.
the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Well, the broom closet's blocked off now, so I can't even go in there again. How about we're going down?
Staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense.
69,
And as
nice.
Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
This car is weird in this room. I just wanted to point that out.
Felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin.
Joe Biden, wake up. Wake up, Joe Biden.
The world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming.
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
And everything went black.
Who
This
am
is the
I
story
indeed?
of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, hey, Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What? Okay. All the boxes are here. Hi. Yes, I can't reach your. Can't reach to the phone. Oh, yeah, I can't talk to you. I'm sorry. All the boxes are over here too now. I don't know why I did that. I knew that the door could close. There's more boxes in there.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, I want to see if there's any boxes in here.
Standing now in this incredible
There's
room,
not. Well, there's
Stanley
this
for the
one, but it's
first
been there.
time understood true happiness. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, I'll do that.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No, I didn't.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track.
Oh, yeah.
So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now.
Okay,
This
cool.
story is absolutely, definitely this way.
No. Oh. Okay, I guess it is. Oh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
Sure.
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track,
Nope.
Okay, from the top.
I'm gonna make your life a living nightmare.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Something that I did that turned on that computer. Click all the doors again. Click on that one again. Maybe I just can't get to it. Interesting.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No,
Oh.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Exactly.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here
This guy's
somewhere.
losing his mind.
Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I want to go through this one, but I can't. I'll go through this one. Nice. This way. Uh-huh. Oh, darn, I'm back here.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can
Same.
promise you there definitely was a story here before.
I don't believe you.
Do we need to restart the game again?
If
Well,
you
I
want.
find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay. We're back again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Huh.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Sure. I don't see anything that's wrong here right now, so let's just...
Aha! I
There we
knew
go.
we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
Hallway makes no sense.
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This looks like Silent Hill 7. Or Resident Evil 7, not Silent Hill.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yeah.
Congratulations!
I did it.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay, restart then.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Breaking the law.
No, I'm down. We're living it up to the line from now on.
I'm done. I'm leaving it up for the lot. Okay, that was good. I'm sorry if you hear a train in the background. I live close to a train track, and there's a train going by right now. They normally don't usually come until
See? The
like
line
2 in the
knows
morning,
where
but
the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Okay.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
Probably.
Whoa. Hang on.
Hang on.
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Yeah, that
You know
that kind of blew my mind
I
back
think
there.
what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
What the? Oh, heck yeah, let's go. Nice. I'm just letting the music play out. This is fantastic. Zigzags. Gone this way. Okay. Oh. Whoa. Yo, that's crazy. That's off. That's okay. That's blowing my mind a
Cut the
little.
music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Huh.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Yeah.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Okay.
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Well, yes, please. I knew there was something with these doors.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Okay. There is just a can of beans right over it.
No, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
That's
no
fine.
lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I like that what he's saying keeps having trademarks on them. Okay. Well, we got that out of the way.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
Okay.
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
Cool.
Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here.
Okay.
And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
Probably not.
And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
I won't go to the left door. Oh.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me?
I'm excited to find the bookstore.
Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it.
I want to find the bookstore. I want to find the bookstore.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
Okay.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
I'll go to the bookstore.
So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do... Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Huh. New content. Oh boy.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
I'm not sure, but I want to go to the new content. Let's go. It's a small world.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
You're welcome.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yeah, I actually remember whenever it came out.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Oh, it's on console too. Neat.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
War game.
delighting audiences the world over.
Smiley face.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Sure.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, there we go.
Oh,
All
finally,
right,
okay.
finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Content.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can jump. They lied to me. They said they took out the jump. The jump's here. Okay. That's enough of that.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I can't jump anymore now. Dang.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
Oh,
Hell,
please.
I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait.
Oh, cool.
There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it.
Oh.
I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game
Nice.
developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market
stuck.
for no
Or stuck.
reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these
It actually
people
does
on
say
Twitter
that.
and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Okay.
What do you say, friend?
This isn't what it's supposed to be.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something.
No, I don't want to be sus. Okay. I'll be sus just this once. What'd you find, narrator?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past.
Okay.
And how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Oh.
Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
remember whenever the game came out. I was still in college. I think originally like there was I wouldn't say Gmod map, but there's like a source mod that you could download for one of the Half-Life games that was the Stanley Parable, and that's what the original one was. And they came out with a demo, and they sent the demo to the Game Grumps, and the narrator actually said Danny and Ross, and like that had me sold on the game entirely. So I watched Markiplier play it whenever it came out because he played it before Grumps did. I don't even know if the Grumps played it. Man, I remember that time. My Valentine. No, that's tomorrow. The trip down memory lane. Yeah. This is the one that they sent to the Game Grumps that had the narrator saying Danny and Ross. I remember. Possible achievement. This is always such a funny achievement to me. You don't play the game for 5 years, then you boot it up and you get an achievement. What else we got here? Stanley Parable deals tough choices. New video game releasing today. Where's Stanley dead? Don't sit on the benches. Oh, I can't sit on the benches. Never mind.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all.
They just fucking... Sorry, I swear. They just name-drop Persona 3 like that? Let's go.
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
That was cool. I like that. Well, you know I have to go down. They won't let me, never mind. Person of the year and it's Stanley. Sorry, them saying Persona 3 just made me forget my own rules of the stream, but I just worked. Let's go.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
I'll get back there. Serious room. Is there a way to get back there? No. See, these look like stairs, and it's kind of messing with me whenever I'm back that way.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give
there
to
we
go
go.
back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Maybe. Nope. But not this one.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Excuse me, sorry if that came through. I tried muting my mic, but I forgot to on that one.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure, like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always... What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Oh, look, a plank. Okay, we have a skip button. Now what do we do?
And here it is. Go ahead and... Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and then... Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Oh, hello. It's you.
A narrator.
You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything.
This is good. You there, narrator? Okay. Block fell off the wall. Into the heat death of the universe.
They didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned. They screamed. They...
Let me out. Okay. Everything's still back here, but the door disappeared from the room. The only way to progress is just by pressing the skip button.
The end, is never 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 the end.
Oh, the camera's done. Wonder what's gonna go next. Oh! That answers that. Getting somewhere. Oh. That entire ecosystem starting to form in here. Oh, nice. Oh. Silent Hill happened. Let me out, let me out, let me out. Yeah, sure, let me... Oh, there we go. Oh, they won't let me press it anymore. I am still going. The world got destroyed. I can't actually go on top of there. I'm just gonna go this way. Oh, what's this? Interesting rock structure. I couldn't even get to it. Man.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm sad now. New content. Hey, this is different. This is... Huh. Guess I'll go to the new content then. That threw me off.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Sure. What do you got for me? We're back to the elevator.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, look at that. Well, Investor
Yes,
Showcase.
you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few
427.
minor additions?
Oh.
Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Why?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Just the two of us. They're back 2 doors. Thank
Now,
you.
to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Please no screenshots. I guess I can't tell them what to do.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Foxy Grandma.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Free, new, plus easy achievement. Right now, pull the lever. Receive your new achievement, no more steps. Get yours right now.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yeah, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers,
Please.
We hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Man. That's upsetting. I don't get my achievement, jerk.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Infinity hole. Okay. The holy moly, how deep can dig? They just made a game about that recently.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I don't think I will.
Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I didn't say anything.
Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you,
it does not.
Then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
This would be the perfect time to go use the restroom. I'm gonna go do that. I'll be right back. I hope he said something funny while I was gone.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
What else we can like get in trouble with? What's the holy moly again? Oh, the statue's moving. Okay, throwing me off there for a second. I thought it was just stationary. And why is it doing that? The jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Jerk. First store. That's new. What is it that's new? Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the... Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just
I don't want
play
to.
along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Okay.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
No.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
I doubt that.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Fallout 4 did it first. I have to go back out that way. The Jim button sucks. Worst feature yet.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
I want to see the reassurance bucket now. Because I'm not Jim. I'll never be a Jim.
The complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Okay. My bucket now.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
This is the best feature right here.
Has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Aww.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
Yeah.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Even the bucket. Exclusive the button that says
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Office decorate. That's the jump station. Office decorations are back here. Oh. Ooh. The new update ray traced more of the same, but in a good way. Sequel to the red is the that one that noise is coming from something in here in the game. That's weird. My phone used to make that noise, like something similar to that noise whenever I used to get a text message back in the day. Find them, collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable.
Oh.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Oh no, I love that.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yeah.
Ready to move on now?
Yeah. I think I'm good now.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes,
like
I
the
know
bucket.
it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
You better not be taking my bucket away.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we
Okay.
go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original.
Exactly.
Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
Sure.
With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
Yeah,
I suppose
see
it
it
could,
working.
but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh yeah, okay, I like that. What's the credits? Nice.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for
All
a
the balloons
company
are
in a
here.
big building where he was employee number 427.
Yeah.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the
Okay.
keyboard.
Okay. I like where
Orders
this goes
came
so
to
far.
him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Okay, I'm feeling it.
Although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Well, the balloons are here now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yeah, bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Phone too. Thank you.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office... Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your
No, me and the
relationship
bucket
is
are
purely
best friends.
superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Yeah, you smell like must. Autumn.
Okay, I've coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Bathroom. Toilet. Oh,
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
Well, thank you.
You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
toilet. Okay. Anything in here? Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Oh, nice.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
The bucket was guiding me.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Not the jump circle.
Another miniature Stanley figurine.
Yeah.
This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
I liked mini stands better. Wait. Back there. I can't see it back there, so it must look fantastic on stream.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Man, I love this bucket. I need one of these in real life.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Nice.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Me and the bucket are going to
At this point,
suicide pact
Stanley and the bucket
in
were
game.
knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
I hope so. Let's see what's going to happen. You can't kill me. I'm unkillable. Oh. I win.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself.
Now me and the
He sort
bucket
of
are going out
kicked
together.
himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, bucket.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a
What?
single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Nice. I thought this said let's play it first whenever I was walking up to here, and I was really confused for a second.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest.
This
It
female.
was a glorious bucket to behold.
Where'd the bucket go?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Everything about this photo is just confusing. Saving that for later, thank you. Birdo bucket. Grass bucket, an analogy. Cave bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It
No,
is
we were
man
friends.
who
I
should
didn't own the
kneel
bucket.
before the bucket.
The infinite hole.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
When did the narrator become a woman?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
I won. Me and the bucket died in game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
You know what? With that reset, I'm gonna end it off here. Been going for about 2.5 hours. Need to go and take the dog out. Just me and the bucket here. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. Back whenever I was streaming in 2021, I think it was, I ended up playing through Alan Wake. And since then, not only was there a new Alan Wake announced, but also released. So I'm going to play the follow-up to Alan Wake, Control. Whenever I'm gonna, probably on Tuesday of this upcoming week, I will start streaming Control. I have it downloaded, and I am ready to go through and play it. So, yeah. So if you're interested in that, feel free to come back. Not that's cool too. But yeah, if you like this video or like the stream, please feel free to. The 7 is lower than the rest of the numbers, and it's bothering me. Please feel free to subscribe or follow, depending on what platform you are on. I would appreciate it. If not, that's cool too. Yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.